Well, hi there, folks. I'm Cameron Hansen with Lean Strategies International, LLC. Have you heard of Kanban? I bet you have, but if somebody asked you what exactly Kanban is, how would you explain it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. In fact, by the end of this video, you will not only be able to define Kanban, but you may be looking into implementing your own Kanban system at your facility. Well, I'd like to give you a warm welcome to this overview of the Kanban system. Now, this topic can be a bit ambiguous, but in this overview, we will help clarify what exactly Kanban means. Now, by the end of this lecture, you will understand what exactly Kanban is. You will also have a better understanding of how Kanban can benefit you and your company. And last but not least, you'll understand what the different types of a Kanban system are. So let's get things started by defining what exactly a Kanban system is. Well, officially, Kanban can be defined as a method of the just-in-time pillar that uses either standard containers, specific lot sizes, or a Kanban card to signal the need for more products or services into the feeding operations or suppliers. Loosely, the Japanese heritage from which the word Kanban is derived from means billboard or sign. One of the more everyday Kanban signals that you may be familiar with is the gas light on your car. For example, when you are driving and your car reaches a level where it needs gas, a light will come on, signaling for you to stop and fill up the tank. Once you have completed this action, the signal or the light goes off, and you know that your car has plenty of fuel to continue on your journey. Well, likewise, Kanban works the same way in organizations. It does this by connecting information flow with material or the necessary action which will signal the start of the necessary action or production. Then, once the signal is complete, the trigger goes away. Now, the Kanban system was originally realized by Taiichi Ohno while he was working to make the just-in-time system a reality within the Toyota Motor Corporation. Mr. Ohno was focused on stopping the overproduction that was occurring in Toyota's manufacturing, which resulted in wasted resources, late deliveries, and was keeping the plant from scaling and catching up with the famed Ford Motor Corporation at the time. The inspiration for the Kanban system came while Mr. Ohno was visiting America. He had stopped at a supermarket and found it absolutely fascinating the way the grocery stores replenished their stocks. Specifically, he was inspired by the way products were only replenished after customers would pull the product off the shelf, triggering the necessary refill. In the broadest sense, the just-in-time system is made up of pull-based methods in order to get what you need, when you need it, and how you need it. Most just-in-time shops will swear by its superiority to traditional push systems. The easiest way to think of a push and pull system is imagine your process as a chain of paper clips. In a push process, Step 1 does the work and sends the paperclip on to Step 2, whether Step 2 is ready for it or not, and continues to do this all the way down the process line. Now, as you can imagine, when the imbalance in the paperclip chain comes, work begins to pile up, creating muda, mura, and muri. In the simplest sense, it wastes money. Now, in a pull system or Kanban system, the worker demands the work in the last process in the chain. which then causes the process step before to demand work, and so on, all the way up the paperclip chain. The good thing about a pull system is the chain stays tight. You respond quickly, and there isn't a ton of work sitting around on your shop floor. Now, we should note that the Kanban system is not the ideal pull system. In fact, it can create many forms of waste, including overprocessing, inventory, and at times requires extra motion or transportation to receive or deliver the Kanban. Just in case you're curious, the ideal just-in-time system or production system would include no Kanban system at all. To clarify, the objective you should be seeking out is not to implement a Kanban system at all. It would be true single-piece flow or true one-piece flow. Now, turning our attention to the purpose of Kanban, we will discuss some of the key functions that Kanban helps support. The first purpose was discussed earlier, and that is that Kanban links material and actions to the necessary information flow, oftentimes by using a Kanban card, like the one shown here, or some other type of sensory notification. A more common form of linking material and information used today are barcodes or QR scanning systems. Additionally, Kanban sets clear boundaries and limits on what actions are to be taken and what exactly is to be produced. In the purest form of Kanban, like a stoplight, nobody moves until the signal triggers it. Now, as we close out this overview of the various types of Kanban system, let's take a look at two different types of Kanban system that are fairly common in all types of organizations. The first type of Kanban system is the card system. This type of system uses a card to trigger the production or movement of items, and like we mentioned before, nothing gets moved, produced, or exchanged without a Kanban card attached to it. Here is an example of a Kanban card. Typically, they will include important pieces of information like the quantity needed, a supplier suggestion, item description, the consuming location, the part number, and oftentimes include a photo along with lead time and Kanban number on the card. That helps keep things organized. We should note that not all card systems will use the Kanban card. In fact, oftentimes, it could be an empty space on the floor, a colored cone sitting somewhere, a light, or any other type of sensory notification that connects the necessary action with the information needed to signal or trigger that action. The next system we will talk about today that does not use cards but is a very effective form of Kanban is the two-bin Kanban system. The two-bin system is oftentimes combined with the card system, but really the bins are meant to be the Kanban themselves. What does that mean? Well, specifically, the empty bin is the signal that more of the product is needed. The two bins are usually set up one in front of another with the same number of parts and identical information on the outside of the bin. When one of the bins is empty, it is moved to a refill or collection point or directly to the replenishment point, while the other bin is used during the replenishment time. After the bin is replenished, it is then placed back into position and the cycle is repeated over and over again. Okay, now, in the upcoming lectures and courses, we will go over topics like how to calculate Kanban quantities, and we will even share our own personal template that will help make the math much easier for you. We will also discuss the general implementation process of a Kanban system and a few key elements that will ensure that your system is a success. After all of that, we will share a few key examples of the card system and the two-bin system so that you will certainly help in setting up your own Kanban system and understanding how it works. So, until next time, keep improving, and we will keep giving you solutions that ignite your power. Take care for now.